everybody! Welcome to Spitball Cinema. That's a new feature that we're featuring on this feature, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure is.
Hope we don't get in trouble for that, right?
Well, I hope not, but we're gonna go with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm David,
This is Scott.
and we have a special guest, our person today. Shane's out on an assignment.
Again.
So we asked this lovely lady to sit in for him.
My sister Stacy.
Hello.
Yay!
Yay.
And today we're going to be talking about
Return of the Jedi. Star Wars.
All right.
The third
Good one.
music of the original trilogy.
That's
or
right.
music movie.
Movie,
Of
yeah.
the
Well, the
original
music
trilogy.
too is awesome.
Yeah.
So this movie came out what, like
83.
83? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Mhm.
Jeez. I remember seeing it, and I think we saw it the opening weekend, and me and my brother and my dad, I think my sisters finally came, but I just remember it. I loved it. I even loved the Ewoks back then. And of course I wanted to get every toy to man that Christmas, but
Right.
Yeah.
I think I just got like a coloring book or something like that.
Well, the way we were introduced to it,
Yeah. Scott and I have an interesting story with this one.
Oh
that
gosh. Okay.
my Aunt Linda always went and seen all the Star Wars, so she always went and seen it first.
She wouldn't take you guys, or
Well, she went and seen it, and then she came and told us everything that happened.
Yeah, she would go to like the midnight showing, and then she was going to take us to go to it, the next day or that weekend or whatever. And were we in the car or were we at the house?
Yeah, we were at the house, and,
Yeah,
and
the
she
house.
said, "So, Luke and Leia are brother and sister."
We were like, what?
We were like,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're just going to love it.
Yeah.
And Luke and Leia, they're brother and sister.
Well, I think she said at first, she said, "Well, she loves Luke, but she ends up with Han."
Yeah.
And we were like, "What?" And she goes, "Well, they're brother and sister." We were like,
Oh my gosh.
Spoiler alert, Aunt Linda.
Thanks, Aunt Linda. She always did that. Told us the damn story. What happened in the movie before we went and seen it. And then when we would go to see it with her, we would sit down in the very front row, so our
Yes.
heads back like this,
Yes.
where all the stuff's coming at you and stuff.
But she
So-
didn't do it just to be mean and tell us the what happened. She was so excited about the movie that she couldn't contain herself.
Right.
Gosh.
Right. Yeah, we were like, "Oh, okay."
Would
Yeah,
she
but-
sit there and go, "This is the part where"?
Oh, well, once we got in the theater, she was.
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
she was one of those that you don't make a sound during the movie. It's important that you don't miss anything, even though she'd seen it.
Except when when Harrison Ford come on the screen,
Yeah,
she'd
yeah.
get all excited.
She'd get yeah.
'Cause she had a thing for Harrison
Yes,
Ford.
yes, big time.
Big time.
But I just remember in this movie, I was so excited for it because the last one devastated me.
Oh,
When Han
yeah.
was frozen in carbonite. I was
Devastated.
Oh, I was devastated. I was so
Everybody was.
upset because the movie ends and he's in carbonite. So this one I was excited for it because it was, what's going to happen with Han,
So you didn't think he was going to survive or something?
I didn't know.
I knew he was coming back. I mean, nope, he wasn't going to stay frozen.
Well, I know, but that's what the excitement was, him coming out of
Remember
carbonite.
Boba Fett? They said he survived the
I
carbonite freezing.
I know, but I was excited because I wanted to.
Well, plus
see
there was
Han.
a rumor going around that Harrison Ford wanted out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right. I
Right.
think he actually wanted
No, wait. Did he do Indiana Jones before
after.
Return or after?
After.
After, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was after.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was excited about that. It was exciting also to see Luke come into Jabba's palace all in black. He was, Mr. Cool.
Oh, he was badass.
He was Jedi now, kind of, And then I just remember the Rancor scene where he falls
Yeah.
down. Oh my gosh, that was so exciting. And
Actually, he made Raiders before.
Oh, he did.
That's why
in 81.
yeah.
In 81.
That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I remember there was rumor going around
that he didn't want to.
Yeah, he from the very beginning he wanted to kill off Han Solo.
Yeah.
You know, fairly early. You know.
I'd read that. Yeah.
So I mean, we probably some of us knew that he was going to be in the movie, but how much he was going to be in the movie, like maybe he got killed being in
Right.
frozen carbonite.
We just didn't know.
Well,
We didn't know.
I knew because Linda didn't tell us that. He,
Oh, well, that's true.
if he would have got killed, we would have had to go over there. She
Oh,
probably
God.
would have been in bed for a month.
Yeah. She would have definitely told us that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, so let's go back to the beginning. We're introduced to a brand new villain named Jabba the Hutt,
Yeah.
and he had
Right.
that-
He had been talked about in the first couple of movies. You know, they had filmed a scene in the first Star Wars, but they had cut it out. So you just always kept hearing about Jabba the Hutt, Jabba the Hutt. This time you actually got to see him.
Yeah.
Jabba
Yeah,
was played by a man.
Really?
If I ever believe, yeah. So when they did the redo, when he put all the extra stuff in, they CGI'd the Jabba character over the guy that's
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I just remember that dude. It was creepy.
Yeah.
He was disgusting.
He was gross,
He
yeah.
ate gross crap. But I did like the little corner animal that like always.
That would giggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the voice anymore.
I just remember his tongue. He'd
Oh.
stick his tongue
When
with
he ate that frog and
When
the
he ate
frog's
that-
hand come
yes.
back out and he
Oh.
kind of licked his
yeah,
tongue
the
came
tongue.
out.
Yeah.
Well, and then, you know, Leia shows up with, you don't know it's Leia at first with Chewbacca in chains,
Yeah.
you know, and gives him over to Jabba. But then Jabba's got game. Because a few scenes later, he's got Leia in a skimpy outfit, chained up to his base.
I knew you were
there.
gonna bring it up.
His base there. You know, at 13 years old, when I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I had
You were like, I want to get the
Yeah.
the doll of her.
I was
Yeah.
like, he's my new hero. You know?
Well, and she also brought not only Chewbacca, but Lando Calrissian was in that.
Well, he didn't.
He was in
she,
disguise.
she didn't bring him.
Well, it was a
He-
plan.
He showed up, and you know what's funny is because when I rewatched this not too long ago, it's so funny because Lando's got the helmet on and stuff, but Lucas made a point for when Lando comes out, he pulls the
Pulls it
mask
down.
down so you can see that it was him.
See that it was
you know, that it
him.
was Billy D.
Yeah.
And as you know, Billy D's got game. He's like,
I never really thought about that. It's like, why the hell would you pull that down?
yeah. It was because he wanted everybody to know that was
Or
Lando.
he was showing off to like one of those sexy dancers. Or
Either
something
that, or
like
he was pulling it down because he wanted to take a look at Leia later.
God.
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh my God.
yeah. If anybody
What was
could've-
that beer? That was it Schlitz beer that he did the commercials for?
I think so. I can't remember.
Hey Leia, I got some
Leia.
Schlitz beer.
Yeah. Nobody's cooler than Lando.
Yeah, but I thought what was really cool was the fact that Leia was the one that ended Jabba.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like one of the first
Yeah, I mean, she did.
strong women
Yeah.
character.
She
in a
did. She was.
Big budget action movie.
Yeah.
Well, no, Sigourney Weaver was in Aliens before
Well,
that.
true, but she was also in Star Wars, which was a couple of years before Alien.
No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
But
Yeah, I
it
guess
was
so.
it was cool to see the female character. I thought,
Yeah, big
ending
time.
Jabba, because I would have thought that Luke or
Yeah, a little
Lando.
bit unrealistic there.
God, even that part was kind of gross when she was strangling him. He-
yeah, and his
Yeah,
tongue,
tongue's like going,
his
oh.
tail
was-
was, his tail looked like a
God.
rattlesnake tail.
Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah, and that whole Jabba's lair, they had so many different interesting characters. Remember that girl, the green dancer?
I was getting ready to talk about that.
She's dancing around and stuff, and he pissed Jabba off, and he hit that button, and she falls down to where the Rancor is.
Yeah,
And it actually shows her boob.
that's what I was
kinda
getting ready to say.
come out of the costume.
It does come out of the
If you-
costume.
If you have you ever noticed that, Dave?
No.
Yeah,
What?
when she jumps out, her boob
Her
pops
whole-
out of
yeah,
the.
it,
Yeah,
it comes out, but it's so quick that I don't think
yeah.
people.
Believe me, I paused that on the movie. I don't know how many times when it came out on VHS.
Oh
What
my
about
God.
those? What about those? The guards, the pig guards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah.
were creepy.
Because remember when Luke finally shows up and he gets thrown down to the Rancor, one of those went down there with him.
Yeah.
And the Rancor picks him up and
he was
bites him.
squealing.
And then bites him in the face, and I was
We
like,
were all-
God.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like, this is
Yeah.
a different Star Wars.
But yeah, when Luke shows up, I mean, he's really evolved since the end of Empire.
He's very calm.
Yeah, very calm and very confident
Very.
with the Force.
Total different.
Total different. He's really evolved into almost to the point where he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he is like, making a deal. Hey, I want to bargain for Solo's life. You know, here's
Yeah.
these 2 droids, which freaks 3PO out.
He's not the whiny little kid that he was in the original.
No, he's
So it was
he's
cool.
more confident, more so like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, yeah.
He's kind of turned almost into Obi-Wan himself.
Yeah.
But I always thought was interesting too was that just the robe that he came in on was black,
Yeah.
which was kind of foreshadowing.
And he
kind
still
of.
had the black glove.
And he was
too.
wearing a lot of black.
He was
Yeah,
wearing a lot. He was all in black,
All in black.
He had the
which
black
kind of
leather
made
glove.
you, whoa, you know,
Right.
because Obi-Wan and the other Jedis
Wore
always had
brown,
brown robes,
brown.
but he was all in black,
Oh.
which Vader was always in black. So
Yeah, he was close. He could have went either way.
Yeah.
Luke could have went either way. He was very impressionable to
Yeah.
which side he was going to go on, and
Yeah.
he's already had.
It was starting
with his
starting,
hand, being mechanics,
yeah.
mechanical.
And I think that was kind of interesting how George Lucas put him all in black because it
Mhm.
made you think, okay, this
Maybe
could go.
he could.
He
Yeah.
well, and that's one thing the Emperor was like, hey, he's very powerful.
We need him on our side.
We need him on the side, on our side.
Yeah,
And then Vader himself, when he shows up, he's all business, from the very beginning,
Mhm.
trying to get the new Death Star in order
Mhm.
because that guy was jacking up.
yeah,
And but Vader at the time, he's not really, he's focused on it, but he's more focused on Luke.
hmm
He's very focused on his son.
yeah,
He's really wanting to see Luke. He's really wanting to get a hold of him and try to turn him. At the beginning, he's trying to turn him. And Luke keeps telling him, I feel there's still good in you and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, and
that's jumping a little ahead.
when they escape, so let's go back to Jabba's for a minute because
Okay.
one scene that I really liked was the scene where Luke was on the diving board looking thing,
Oh, yeah.
getting ready to.
Oh yeah.
They were getting ready to push him
Going down into the
into the tarlac pit
tarlac,
or
yeah.
whatever, and the music, don't,
Don't,
yeah.
and
Dun.
something's gonna happen, and then
Yeah.
he salutes R2 from up above, and
Right.
R2, shoots that lightsaber,
Yeah,
and the
everybody in the
music
theater was
just,
just-
oh yeah, I mean,
Well, and one thing we forgot to talk about is when Leia unfreezes Solo.
yeah, he can't
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, he's having trouble. He can't see because of the car. He's been in what they call a carbonite sickness.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and that his eyesight would come back in time. So he's half blind.
He has half blind,
Right.
getting almost thrown into the pit, and then all hell breaks loose when Luke gets the lightsaber, and then it was Han that fell.
Yeah.
He fell off the ship and was getting ready to go into the Tarlac
No,
pit.
Han didn't. It was Lando.
Oh, it was Lando.
Lando.
That's right. It was
Never.
Lando.
Yeah.
And
Chewie
Han-
lowered him down.
And Han was blind.
And he was trying
And
to
he
shoot.
was trying to shoot, and Lando's like, wait, I thought you were blind. And he
No,
said,
hold
trust me.
He said, hold,
Yeah.
hold still, Lando.
He's like, just a
"Trust
little
me."
higher, just a little
Yeah.
higher.
But that scene there was exciting.
Yeah.
It was action-packed.
That damn Tarlac pit, that thing was creepy.
Yeah.
You know, because they said he'd be digested over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
1,000 years, what?
And then Luke and Leia swinging off the barge onto...
Kind of an ode back to the original.
To the original,
Mhm.
yeah. That was just a great scene. I loved that scene.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when they showed R2D2's hatch open up and you saw
Yeah.
Saw
the
the
lightsaber.
lightsaber.
And that's
The whole theater was just like, ooh.
That's the first time you saw the green lightsaber, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because Vader makes a point later on saying, "I see you construct the new lightsaber,"
and it was in the theaters it was big and bright and it was exciting. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, whoa.
Do you think he made it green because it was in honor of Yoda?
No, I don't think so. I never made that connection.
No,
with,
I mean,
with
who knows?
But
we'll have to research that.
Yeah.
Why he made it
If
green.
anybody
But
knows,
it wasn't.
if anybody knows, comment below.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was more of a lighter, brighter green than Yoda was.
Yeah.
And Yoda was a little bit
I'm
more.
just saying green.
And it had a specific handle.
Well, I don't think the lightsaber said the Yoda on it. Push this button, he will. I mean, come on.
Use safety.
Well, and that's another thing. So after they go and they fight through all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they all start to go off. Luke has to take off again to go finish his training
with Yoda. Mm-hmm.
And Han and Leia and all them take off in another direction. And Han's like, "This is now I owe you one. Thanks for saving me and all that."
So
stuff.
the scene with Luke and Yoda was an eye-opening, and you learn something in that scene, because Yoda's actually dying.
Yeah,
right.
And and he's saying, Master Yoda, you can't die, and it was sad.
It's like strong with the Force and I,
but not that,
but not that strong.
Yeah. But
do you think Luke was pissed to learn that Leia, the girl that who was in that hot outfit just a while ago?
Well, he don't know this yet.
No, he don't know
this yet.
No, because in that scene, towards when Yoda almost dies, he tells him, he's like, there is another. He doesn't tell him if
it was Ben.
Yeah, because and then
that's right.
He says, "No more training you will require," and Luke says, "So I am a Jedi."
Right.
And Yoda's like, "Well, no,
Vader.
not yet." He said, "Vader.
You must
confront Vader. Then and only then a Jedi will you be."
Yeah.
And Luke's like, "Really?"
Yeah. And he tells him, "I can't kill my own father."
And he said, "Then he's already won. Then the Emperor has already won."
Well, that was Ben.
That was Ben on Yoda, yeah.
But Yoda,
I'll get those.
But Yoda said there didn't he say there's another?
Yeah, because he kept saying.
Yeah.
And Luke
getting it out of him. You're all leaning up.
Luke's like leaning over, like what? And he's like. And he said, "What? Spit it out, mother."
Scott.
And you're like, what the?
What did he just say?
Looks like giving him CPR. Come on.
Tell me, motherfucker.
Then you realize, okay, there's another Skywalker.
Yeah, he's another Skywalker.
And so you're thinking like,
and then Luke's out there and tells R2, he says, I can't do this. And then Yoda will always be with you. Here comes Ben. You're like, what the?
Where have you been?
Then the thing that cracks me up though is he said, "Why didn't you tell me?" He asked him if is Darth Vader, and he said, "Your father, he is." And he said, "Why didn't you tell me?" He said, "Well, when Anakin turned over from the good side to the dark, so a certain point of view, Vader did kill your father."
I would have punched him in the face, man.
He's a Force ghost. You can't punch him.
And Luke said, "A certain point of view, you old."
Yeah.
What are you talking
about?
about?
When he tells him, Luke, you're going to realize a lot of things are from points of view.
And he says, "Well, up your ass." There's the point of view.
Get out of here.
How's that?
Yeah.
And that's when Obi-Wan tells him about he has a twin sister, but Luke instinctively guessed.
Yeah, he says, "Leia. Leia's my sister." And Obi-Wan's, you've been tonguing her since the last two episodes.
Yeah. That's like the major thing that everybody talks about.
Yeah, everybody's like, what the frack? Yeah. Luke's had a heart on her for two damn movies. And now all of a sudden, You know?
Yeah.
That's all they're from.
Yeah.
But that was, back then and watching that movie, that was like,
It was like our first foray into like soap operas and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. It's like, what? This is unreal.
Yeah.
You know?
So then...
and there's not another broad in the whole universe except Leia and that old gal that was running the... when she was... died having these... some old...
the short-haired, redheaded, lady.
Anne Baru, she's dead. She's the only one. So Luke's like, man, there's not a chick in the whole universe for me now. And Han came in and took my sister.
Oh my God.
But, I mean, it's just weird. You know? You were like, wow, And then when Luke goes, then they show Leia and them go to the moon of Endor.
Not yet, because they started getting chased by the Empire, and they went on that big meteor shower storm thing. Asteroid field.
I thought that was in that was in Empire.
Was that in Empire?
Yeah.
Am I missing it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, you're getting the two confused.
I'm getting confused.
Holy shit.
They're all the same movie.
So God, dog. Unbelievable.
Sorry, I got off track a minute.
Unfreaking believable.
I'm trying to think.
Get your Star Wars shit.
No,
they go back to the base because that's
go back
where
to the base.
Luke meets up with them.
Oh, that's where they got on those speeders.
Well, no, he's talking about they go back to the base, and they're asking, you think Solo's going to take off again, and Lando's become a general, and then they give Solo a team, And,
that's right.
And he said, I have to pick my team yet, and Leia's like, I'm in, or something like that.
And then Luke shows up and says, I'm with you too.
I'm with you too. And Solo's like, what the?
And then you hear...
Yeah. And now, and the way Luke came in and he said, "Hi, Han," it sounded so weird. And he said, "Luke, hi, Han."
Well,
I was like, "What in the hell, man up, dude?"
But Leia looked at him and said, "What is it?" And he said, "Ask me again sometime."
And now he starts talking in riddles like Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
Ask me again, I'll tell you later.
It's like, cut the circle, man.
Isn't that right, Han?
Just tell me right now.
Hi, Han.
Hi, Han.
Hi, Han. I was like, what the hell? What?
You gotta find that on your phone. You gotta listen to this.
Well, then they go on the old
enemy ship.
ship thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Vader talks to Luke, because he
didn't talk to him. He
force.
Right. Well, yeah, but Luke says, "I'm in danger in the mission," because Vader's sensing that he's near.
Yeah.
I'm in danger in the mission.
He doesn't talk like that through the whole movie.
He doesn't talk like that through the whole movie. God. We just said earlier how confident and cool Luke is.
Yeah, but for some reason, when he got up there with all his friends, hi, Han.
Would you stop it?
What the hell's the matter with you?
I bet you're gonna name this episode "Hi Han."
Yeah, the hi, Han.
Hi, Han.
Well, and then they go to the moon of Endor, right? That's where the Ewoks, the little fuzzy suckers, are.
Yeah.
And they're on the stormtroopers. The speeder chase was really...
That was really
awesome.
Yeah.
Remember, Luke jumps on the back with Leia.
Yeah, I mean, and in the movie theater, I mean, you've got this huge screen and the effects. Back then, where effects were...
Right.
They were amazing.
Remember when Leia jumps on and she starts to take off, and Luke's like, Leia, wait! And he jumps on. He jumps on.
He says, I see him. Wait, Leia. Because Leia, the stormtrooper, was going to go back to the base. She was not going to let that happen.
And what does he do? He rides on the back. He's riding on the back like a broad. And I'm just like,
Are you insinuating that he was riding bitch?
Yes, he was.
God.
Well, for a little bit, until they killed the one stormtrooper, then he jumps off on his own. Oh my God.
Well, he jumps on there and he throws that stormtrooper, and that stormtrooper's like, ah! lands into the tree. Whack! And he goes, take that, bitch.
But that was cool. when the one speeder came around and Luke grabbed his lightsaber and hit it and it spun and it hit in the tree. That was cool. Anytime the lightsaber comes out, it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a neat thing. Oh my God. Leave Luke alone.
So, after that, you go through all there, and they get the Ewoks kind of come and get on their side or whatever.
And they thought 3PO was a god.
Right.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Han's like yelling at 3PO, and they think, and they start to
Spear him.
and stuff. And Harrison Ford's, some of his acting was a little corny.
It was really
bad.
Why don't you tell him that this is, I was like, what?
He didn't want
Why
to
don't
be
you
there.
use your divine
Yeah.
influence to get us out of here? And you're just like, hey, you just played Indiana Jones. You didn't talk like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
a
like
kids
today,
movie.
but to
I
Dave's
know.
point, I don't think he didn't want to be there, and so he wasn't going to.
Well, when he's looking around, seeing all these little fur babies around him, he's like, let's screw the acting. I mean,
Yeah. Well, so then when them and the Ewoks become friends, they go back to the Ewok village.
well, and C-3PO is telling them the whole story.
The whole
of
story.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, and Master Vader. You're just like, man, do I have to sit here and listen to this? Can't you catch him up quicker? Yeah.
But then Luke goes outside and Leia follows him, and then Leia, he tells here.
See, this is a thing that just doesn't make no sense.
It makes no sense, especially with the prequels.
With the prequels now.
The
It makes no-
prequels, it didn't line up.
because he asked her, do you remember
What do you remember
about your mother?
Your real mother.
And she said, oh, I just remember she was sad.
She said images really
Yeah, she was very beautiful and very,
kind,
very
but sad.
But Luke says, I can't remember my mother. Well, no kidding, you can't, because you were a baby.
Yeah, a newborn.
Newborn.
According to the prequels.
So how could Leia even remember
So
her mother?
people
She
have been
was
saying,
using the Force.
people are saying online, because I've read about this, is that it was the Force.
Then why couldn't Luke knew... Leia didn't have no power to use the Force then. She didn't
I know, but that...
That Luke was using the Force. You mean to tell me he couldn't like pull the old broad up on his Force is like demented or something, and hers is like crystal clear?
I know.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah, that was the part with the prequels that just kind of...
And he said, the Force is strong with my family. I have it. My father have it. My sister has it.
Yeah.
And he said, S-A-S-U. And she goes, yeah, I know. Somehow I've always known. What? You've always known, and you've been tonguing this dude for the last couple of movies?
Well, she did use the Force in Empire.
When?
The Force... Luke used the Force when he was hanging.
Yeah, to contact her. But Leia didn't.
But she had the ability to receive that.
Oh, he went in there and mocked her.
That only works on the weak-minded, and Leia was not
She
weak.
was a little weak then.
She was not weak.
Or he just...
Because she sits there and she's like, Luke, so...
Right.
Anyways.
But yeah, it didn't make... I think Lucas had forgotten all that stuff when he was writing this
Yeah.
thing. It just like...
Couple little...
Yeah, a little...
Oops.
Yeah, oops.
It's like, why would you even take a risk of that? Because you're going to have fan people going out.
Oh yeah, Star Wars fans, they dissect.
They dissect every...
Like Shane. I mean...
Every facial expression.
Shane's that way. I mean, he knows what cafe that Ewoks ate
Well,
at.
but then there's also Star Wars people that have read all these comics and all this
novels and
stuff in between, and
Listen, I have a theory about all that.
Let's not talk about that.
No.
So they go
my theory,
and tell the story.
Wait a minute.
They go,
my theory is if
young.
Lucas didn't write it, it didn't happen.
I would agree with that. I would.
But
some of it is better than Lucas, though.
So after that, Luke leaves to go confront Vader to turn himself in.
Right.
Which was
the corny acting of Lee.
And Leia's trying to get him to just run away,
Go away far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like,
no.
I got some pride.
I know I'll miss you, but I'll have Han on the side. But I'll miss
So,
you.
but he turns himself in because they bring him in handcuffs, and that's where he has a conversation with Vader, his father, you know, which was a cool scene. I thought.
Right? Is that when he's talking about he constructed a new lightsaber?
Yeah,
and all that?
yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I feel good in you, Father.
Yeah.
I feel good in you, Father. I felt it.
And he
Vader's
said,
like, it's too late for me now.
well, he says, so you finally accepted the fact that, you know, I'm your father. And he said, I've accepted the fact that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father, you know.
And he said, that name doesn't no longer
Yeah,
mean.
your name.
Yeah.
But that,
That was cool though. He did that with the lightsaber. And he's like, that name does not have any.
Yeah. James Earl
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah. He was so good.
Well, and one thing we're forgetting, the Emperor all through this is
Oh, yeah.
very, very spooky, and like his voice is even more, you know,
Dark.
Yeah, dark.
Yeah.
And
And you actually see him live
Mhm.
instead of a force or a ghost or whatever
Right.
spirit. You actually see.
Yeah, him when he was
Him-
inspecting at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then all through it, you know, when Vader tells him, my son is with him, I felt him. And he said, strange, I haven't. Yeah.
And this
he
was-
said, I wonder if you're all clear with what the mission is here, Lord Vader.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you could tell right then that there was a
There was a little jack up in the dark side of the Force, a little shake up.
But wasn't this Palpatine? What's his name in real life? Ian Mc.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just. Was
Is
that
that-
him?
Was
back
that his first?
thing?
Yeah.
His
Oh,
first.
Yeah,
Star
because they had to
Wars.
go back when they were doing Emperor and stuff, and they added him into the scene where
The Empire. Yeah.
where he comes up.
But somebody else played the Emperor in Empire, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's why they had to go back
And put his
Mhm.
face.
But he was, God.
Oh, he was awesome.
So amazing as the voice and the
Oh
face
my gosh.
and the
Especially
terror.
in that part. And
It was scary.
do it.
Yeah, he was like in the movie theater when you first saw him, like actually walking, talking. He was scary.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
He scared, me.
Yeah.
I mean, Vader was scary to begin with, but with him,
Yeah.
Oh, they made him way scarier.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Oh,
so-
well, he looked more evil
Yeah,
than Vader. Vader is very robotic looking. I mean, very,
yeah.
you know, but.
Well, but you knew he was his master, which was
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, I mean, he was just evil looking. I mean, down to his red eyes, almost like you would envision what the devil would
Yeah,
look like.
yeah.
Except no horns, you know. But
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of personality,
Yeah, and
you know.
so I think that scene with Luke and Vader and the Emperor, that climactic scene where.
Well, wait a minute before you get into that. Remember when he's jacking with Luke when all of his friends are out?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
He's his friends. They're trying to do stuff on Endor, and they're going into a trap. And the Luke's looking out the window, and the Emperor's coaxing him.
Right.
You know, he keeps digging him and coaxing him, and he's got that lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber next to him. He's like, "Go ahead, take it." You know,
And Luke keeps turning away.
he's like,
Such
"Take
a
it,
good scene.
strike me down."
But
you
what's
know?
that one scene where the Emperor, he's like jacking with Luke about his friends, and he goes, "They won't be." Remember, what does he say?
I'm afraid.
they won't be. It's like,
They're
hey,
going into a trap.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they won't make it.
Yeah,
You know?
which is even
Even scary,
scarier.
you know.
But no, when he
How
finally
come
is like,
the
I'm
Emperor
gonna
and Luke
show-
have the same voice according
I
to
know.
Scott?
Well, and then
Apparently, they sound like
remember
Leia.
he says, "You want this?" You know, he was
Yeah.
about his.
You want this, don't you?
Take it.
He's probably like,
He's like,
I just, I loved it when he finally is like, fuck it. And then
Well,
Vader
he finally
stopped
just
him.
yeah, he just can't. I look like turns away real quick like this.
then he
and
comes back and
And then when Vader blocks the lightsaber from hitting him, he does that laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's showing us all the
Yeah.
straggly teeth.
And when those lightsabers cross, man,
Yeah, he's like,
you
I
knew
mean,
it
he
was
looks
on.
like the devil then.
Yeah.
I mean, he just,
You knew it was on. Now we're gonna have a huge lightsaber.
Yeah.
All right, here's the
duel.
question for you guys. Did Vader block him because he's still Emperor's still his master and he was blocking him from getting killed? Or was he saving Luke from taking that final strike into the darkness?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. I never thought of it that way.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Because he had to protect the Emperor because he's still hasn't converted totally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's in the dark side. I mean, he's been that way for years.
Yeah, that could be.
It's a good point because Luke is he's not real angry, but it's part of the anger is coming through is why he grabs the lightsaber and starts to hit the Emperor because he's talking, about hurting his friend.
Yeah.
So
I think it could
that's
be
a
both.
good.
That's
very
really good.
That's a very good question, Dave.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, he might have even been saving him.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
from going over.
Interesting.
But
I'm with you. I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could be.
But so that started the lightsabers hitting. That started the
man.
big climactic between Vader and Luke, and then down on Endor, the stormtroopers and
Mhm.
Luke or Han and Leia, and them trying to blow up the shield.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going panning back and forth.
Right, and they do get the Death Star operational.
Yeah.
And it is so they got to get that shield down so they can blow it up.
So they could blow it up.
Mhm.
But get
the shield down so Lando could go. And blow it
Lando
up.
could go in and blow it up. Yeah. But
remember he's got that little dude with the little mask on there, and then letting him.
he kept going,
a little sucker, and
they have to go in that
Han will
little
get that-
tiny air,
Yeah.
little tunnel looking thing
you know what? That's the thing. The Death Star. They keep building this thing.
with
But
these
they-
little.
But they
tunnels.
always leave a hole where you can blow it up.
Well,
There's
you think-
always a weak spot.
But
you
then-
think they would have learned that from the first one when Luke blew it up?
but
Yeah.
it wasn't fully covered though.
Right.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just
We'll
remember.
get that shield down. We gotta give him more time.
I just remember the lightsaber scene with Luke and Vader,
It
and
was so good.
God, it was so good. And then Luke's kind of hiding.
Well, he does the flip up.
He does the flip.
not fight you, Father. you know.
You think he sounds like an 11-year-old English boy?
So then he's hiding under the corridors,
Yeah.
And
Then he's
And
Vader
Vader starts
taunting him.
taunting him and jacking him with him in his mind. He said, what is he
it's
saying?
not in his mind. He's saying it out loud.
Well, I know, but he's getting into Luke's head.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said it's
he's-
the only way to save your friends.
Yeah, save your free. Yeah, he's trying to.
Yeah, and then he says, especially sister.
Sister.
Sister! So you have a twin sister.
Sister.
Yeah. And then he says, she is now mine too. If you won't turn to the dark side, perhaps she will.
And that's when Luke.
That when he lost
That's when
his
Luke
shit.
lost his shit and jumped him.
Never! He said, never! And,
You stop that. He didn't say it like that.
and then there's the music.
He went through puberty.
And
Yeah.
then the music after that.
Yeah, it's playing
and they're
What was that?
just
Dun, 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 dun.
No.
No, that's a canteen. But the
Yeah, it's kind of this like operatic.
Yeah.
it
type
was
thing.
operatic.
This.
And then you finally see him. I mean, he's just
Well, he loses. He does lose
he
control.
goes there to that dark place,
Mm.
cuts off Vader's hand, and he's just wailing on
Yeah.
him. I mean, the sweat just you
And
can
then-
see the
And
sweat.
then the Emperor's laughing. He's like,
He's like, good.
Now fulfill your destiny and take your father's place by my
At
side.
my side.
And that's when Luke looks at his hand,
and looks over at Vader's cut hand.
cut hand, and he turns off, and he says,
Do you remember when Dad My dad, I remember that part so vividly. When Luke throws the lightsaber and he says, "Never, I'll never join the dark side." Dad said, "He threw away his weapon." He said, "What the hell?
What the hell's he doing?
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, and then, yeah, the Emperor's like, take your place up,
Yeah.
you know, and he says, "I'll never join you. I am a Jedi Knight, like my father before
Yeah.
me." You know, and
So
then-
be
so
it.
be it, Jedi. Yeah, the way he said Jedi, so be it, Jedi. Jedi.
Like it was a dirty word.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Emperor, when he's
Oh,
isn't
man.
that's the first time you've seen that
The lightning.
stuff coming out of his hand? Isn't that the first time?
Wait,
Yeah,
don't they
yeah.
cut it off first after it's like Jedi, and then they cut it off before the lightning comes out?
Oh, I mean, they cut to the other scene.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't-
they do.
They do? Are you
They
sure?
cut to
Yeah.
the Han and Leia and
Oh,
all
okay.
that what they're doing. And then they come back and
They do.
I
didn't
think.
remember. I thought
don't
he
remember.
shot him first.
he might have.
And
He
then
might have.
as he goes down, then they cut.
I just
Yeah.
remember it was scary because of his
Oh, it's
teeth
just-
and oh my gosh.
And Luke is literally frying
And-
like an
and
egg.
it's, and it's like the Emperor's getting off on it. He's like, you know, as he does it, like he's
yeah.
you know.
Well, he is. He's enjoying
Yeah,
killing
he-
him because he won't turn like Vader. And then you're in the movie theater. You're oh my god, oh my god.
And then he just keeps hitting Luke with those
And
lightning
then
bolts.
Luke's got sweat and spit all over.
And he's yelling to Vader
And he's
to help
yelling,
him.
"Father, help me, please!" You know that did it, and that's
Well, Vader gets up and he's watching all this. He looks at Luke.
he keeps looking back and
looking
forth.
back, and he's trying to decide what he's
Everybody in the theater was like, "Help him!"
Yeah.
Because then he goes, "Now, Jedi, you will die."
Yeah.
And he goes, he does that again. Does that again, and then that's when Vader.
Wait, what?
Look,
How
he-
did he do it again?
he looks over, goes around, grabs Vader, grabs the Emperor,
Mhm.
and the Emperor's like, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo."
Yeah. He's like, well, the lightning's still going off.
Yeah, it's going down. It's going down.
But it's
on
going
Vader.
down on him, Vader now.
Yeah, and he's hoo, 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 hoo. And he throws a, you know, yeah, and then Vader's the voice,
The breathing.
the breathing
He's
gets
got shallow.
really shallow.
Yeah.
He's like,
You know,
Meanwhile, the rebels they've went through and deactivated the shield, so the Death Star is getting ready to
well, remember
blow up.
that one little Ewok got killed. It was the only Ewok.
Oh,
that
I
got
know that
killed.
was devastating.
He rolled around on the ground.
Big explosion.
why would they do that in a kids movie?
Well, they just show you one Ewok had to die. I mean, how would you like to have been that Ewok? You got that good part.
How would you like to be a
And they
little
killed
kid and in the theater that all the older kids?
We were.
Yeah, all the older kids who didn't like the Ewoks were like going cheering for them.
They should have cut his little head off.
Okay.
Jeez, man, crying.
Yeah. So then they
Well, remember Chewbacca? He's swinging through there and he does the church review to the target. Yeah.
That's when we're like, yeah, this
Yeah.
movie's gone batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
So they they got the shield part
Well,
down.
well, you forget something. Leia turns the tables on Han this time because when she's got that gun hidden,
Yeah.
and when they got them, they're all their hands up, and she's got a gun, and Harrison Ford, Han Solo looks at her and says, "I love you," and she goes, "I know."
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, that was
she
cool.
turns it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was so.
Then Luke's dragging him.
Well,
Wait, but you're forgetting one more.
That-
No, I'm wrong. Keep going.
Remember, Luke's dragging him through there. You know, everybody's scrambling from the Death Star, and Luke's dragging
Oh
him
yeah.
back to the ship.
Yeah,
And he, Luke, take this mask off me.
which was crazy.
Yeah, and when they took that thing, the mask off him, and that some English dudes in there like, "Hello, Luke," you know, and he,
What?
"I
What?
won't leave you, Father." He said, "Father, I won't leave you." And he said, "I have to save you." And he goes, already have Luke.
And you're like, no, he hasn't.
You already have.
You're talking about like the top of his head looked like a big cigar.
like an
Just-
egg.
Oh,
yeah.
it was weird white.
White, yeah.
And
He had like
red.
red lipstick on. Didn't
Yeah.
he? He's like, give me a kiss, Luke. No.
He keeps coughing up bloody phlegm. Give your father a kiss.
Drop of the hun tongue comes out.
Okay.
No, I'm just
Okay, I got a real YouTube ad.
But then he drags him off and flies off, and the next thing you know, he's burning Vader like the Indians do.
Yeah,
You know,
cremated
which I
him,
just
which
kind
was...
of is that what they do to the old Jedi? I mean, did they ever? They did. I guess they did that
They did
in the prequels. Yeah, with
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sad scene. That was a really...
What?
Yeah.
With Vader. It was
Yeah.
the mask and the
And they're playing that music.
Yeah, it was sad. But so then Luke comes back and
Where did he do that at though? Was it on Endor?
Endor.
It was on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So then he meets up with the Ewoks and his friends /
Do you
sister.
think the Ewoks came over and took a bite? Vader,
Yeah,
like,
probably
we
not.
got fried alligator over here. We're starving.
And then they start.
They're making moon s'mores and shit.
Vader burgers and shit.
Oh
No,
my god!
Yum yum.
Yeah.
Yum yum. Oh. Oh, we talk about yum yum.
I can't believe I agreed to this. But so then you see the Force ghost of Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, you gotta remember before that, the big reveal.
Well, when Leia tells.
Oh, when Leia tells
Han.
Han that, yeah.
Because he said, when Luke gets back, you love him.
I won't get in the way.
She goes, no, it's not that at all. And she's, he's my brother. And Harrison Ford's like, he like cocks his mouth around like, what? He's like, what? Well, why don't you get your brother to come over here? And
But you never. And then they.
How dare you, sir?
And then they kiss, and he has this weird look on his face. You know what he's thinking.
yeah, he's like, she's been talking to him for the last two movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like, she's a freak.
He's a
Damn,
freaky
damn.
bitch.
Ow. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then Luke looks over.
She's a super freak. Super freak. She's super freak. Meow, meow.
Oh God.
So then you see the
Force
Ghost, which
they had Obi-Wan. This is the thing, they had old Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then they had that jacked up Anakin.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He never lost some weight even when he went into the Force. You know.
and
then Yoda still looked the same.
So people
But everybody loved it.
now are, some people like it, some people don't. But they when they
They
remastered it, they put in Hayden Christensen.
Which is weird because they put in Hayden Christensen.
Why wouldn't they put in Ewan McGregor?
He's young.
Mm-hmm.
They leave Obi-Wan old as shit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why they didn't change it, because that's Alec Guinness.
Well, that's true.
That's
and
exactly
they weren't going
it.
to change Alec Guinness.
Yeah, because that
Right.
that would have been really. But some people like that they put Hayden in there.
Right.
Some people don't.
All right, another question. Leia comes over to get Luke when he's looking at the Force Ghost. And she looks like, what the frick are you
What are
looking,
you looking
at?
at?
She's got the Force. Why doesn't she see the Force Ghost?
I don't know.
Yeah. Remember,
She didn't have enough training.
Luke looks over at him.
That could be it.
Luke, he takes one last look and goes, bye, guys.
No, do stop it.
No.
So here's a funny thing.
I can't believe I agreed to this.
I know. Here's a funny thing about Return of the Jedi that my brother and I, we know when we watch the movie, we know every single line. And the reason because after the movie came out, we got a vinyl
Yeah, it was
record
record
Oh.
thing.
of Return of the Jedi, the whole movie. So
Oh, I
back in
remember
those
that.
days, we didn't have VCR. If you did, you had to rent it or whatever.
Yeah, it was expensive.
And,
So I listened to that thing.
we
over
would
and
listen to
over.
that after school. And it's interesting when you listen to a movie versus watching it and listening. When you just hear it,
You retain more.
you
of it.
retain the lines over and over. So, like, we know every line that's coming, and we know how to talk like Jabba talked just because we heard that.
I had that same album, and I think the other movie album like that I remember getting was one for the Black Hole.
Yeah.
Because it was a really cool cover because he had a big picture of Maximilian and stuff like that. On
Yeah. So,
But I had that same album.
I still remember. I can remember the lines with Java.
Me too.
When you go, Oompa, simple, kama wampa,
Oh,
Iskatu,
Kawawookie.
Kawawookie.
Oh my
That's
God.
That's
how often we listen to it.
that. And for
That's
some
awesome.
reason, that stuck with me. You know.
yeah.
I mean, I never went around going, "Hi, hon."
But, you
Stop
know,
it. My God.
kids nowadays can stream anything and look at YouTube and do everything.
Yeah.
And find it. But back then,
We just listened to
in
that
the
record.
83, we didn't have that ability. So
Got a
that's why
record.
Jedi, I can remember. And so when I had my own
And
children,
it ended like a fairy tale or should end a happy ending.
Yes, yeah,
Everybody's
happy.
there, you know, and his dad is back in the Force and the good graces with his
Got-
best friend
got him
Obi-Wan
good,
and
yeah.
Yoda. You know, Darth Vader has kind of he's redeemed himself by being good
tied it
and,
all up.
and saved Luke, his son. He
Yeah.
finally
yeah.
went back to the Force
Yeah. Mhm.
and not the dark side Force.
I
you
love
know?
it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the movie.
Then,
Yeah.
Then J.J. Abrams came and effed
Yeah,
it all up.
yeah.
Yeah.
But-
That's another one.
But it's still, I don't think that lightsaber scene was as good as Empire. I thought Empire's lightsaber scene was a lot better. When I've rewatched it, it wasn't long enough for me.
yeah.
The Empire one?
No,
No, the-
Jedi.
Oh, the Jedi? I
Yeah.
thought the Jedi was longer than the Empire.
No,
But the
not for me. It
Jedi,
wasn't.
the Jedi one was more meaningful, I guess you could say.
Well,
Actually, just
right.
mean.
Well,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was more climactic, you know.
Right. Well, it's ending.
Yeah.
It's coming to a conclusion. These three.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, even in Empire, I mean, Luke and Jedi was just hammering Vader. You know, that was
But he
it.
went against Yoda's teaching
Yes, I know,
because
but
Yoda told him anger, fear, depression, the dark side are these.
is that all Yoda knows how to tell people?
Well, then he said,
Yeah.
once you start down that path, forever will it die.
I know he
Your
tells
destiny."
that to everybody in every movie.
Sounds like Yoda's on the bathroom all the time. Forever will it your
Jesus.
Well, he didn't have much to eat on Dagobah,
I
but
gotta-
protein.
I gotta take a
No fiber.
gotta take a sky.
Oh my
Joe.
I think there's also a mistake in Empire and Jedi with Yoda because Yoda says his age and they're two different. They're like
Well, no.
100 years apart.
No, he said 900 years old in Jedi.
But
When
then
he's dying.
but then in Empire he says he's like 700 or 800 years old.
He did?
Yes,
In Empire? I
yes.
don't remember him saying that.
Yes, we'll have to go back and find that.
Go back.
Yeah. I'll have
All
to
right. Well,
look.
let me ask you this: the crazy singing ending of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Did you like when they redid it? Did you like that version better than the one that was in the original?
I
I didn't realize they redid it.
liked
It took out a lot of the yum yum singing.
what I liked about that one, the remastered, is that they show all the
Yeah, all
Naboo,
the planets and stuff.
they show Coruscant, they
Yeah.
show all Tatooine, they show all those cities celebrating.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's really kind of neat.
I like that.
Hmm.
I like that version. Better.
I did like that. Yeah,
I still
because what they didn't just impact indoor.
Yeah.
Hey,
It impacted
wasn't
the
it kind
whole-
of disturbing though? Those Ewoks had like heads of stormtroopers, and they're playing it like a damn drum. Little cannibal bastards. They're like, yeah. So that's why I'm saying they're over on Vader.
They took the flesh
They
out.
should have
It
took
was just
Vader-
the mask.
They should have had Vader's helmet.
They didn't
and-
have their heads lifted.
I never thought they had their heads in their
No,
sky.
They should have
There's-
took
there's
Vader's
just-
mask and put it in the front. Look, be like, that's my father.
then
Daddy!
he like takes his hand and like Pushes
Not
up.
my father.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's gonna wrap up.
It's raining dead
you
Ewoks.
got anything else to add to Return of the Jedi?
No.
I
some
love that
time off.
movie. It's not my favorite of the Star Wars movies, but I really did enjoy it back then.
Well, yeah,
I still enjoy
sure.
it now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a fun ending to a great trilogy, and
It's fun for new generations.
It really
to
is.
see it.
And if you ask a lot of the the kids of these days, they like the original 70s, 80s ones even more than the
prequels.
the prequels and stuff. But
Right.
I've come to like the prequels more today than I did back then. The other three,
Yeah.
You mean the sequels to these?
The
or
Disney.
The Disney ones?
Yeah.
Well, again, I say that George Lucas, you can tell the absence of George Lucas.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah,
In my mind,
people
those
have
don't exist.
People have complaints about Lucas, but this is the guy that created the whole thing.
yeah,
And
we have to.
he
You have to
did
give him
have a
props.
better vision.
Well,
I
he's
thought-
also the guy that sold it to Disney, so
Right. Well.
he sold the story, and then you
Yeah.
can't sell it and then complain about it,
Right. Well, that's true.
you know. But
That's true.
anyways,
Well-
it was
well-
great for us as children of in our generation.
So, if you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and
Thumbs up it.
and like. And if you need to
Share it.
If you need to get a hold of us, you can contact us at spitballcinema@gmail.com. Make it any suggestions.
And if
Yeah.
you want Stacy back,
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.